everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I decided I was just gonna sit down and talk to you guys, and that's something I don't normally do. I usually have videos planned out ahead of time, and I did have a video planned to do today, but I was just like, I think I'm just gonna talk because lately I've been having a really rough couple days and I wanted to talk about it. I didn't talk to any of my friends about it, and I think since we're friends we should talk about it. So I'm just gonna kind of vent to the camera and you guys can tell me what you think. So basically I never really talk too much about anything in my personal life because I'm a pretty private person. I'm pretty reserved. I don't usually talk too much about like things that have happened to me. I don't like to talk a lot about my personal life, not like relationship wise, but just anything wise. Like I don't usually like to talk about how I feel. I don't usually like to talk about, things that are going on in my life. It just feels weird for me to do that. I don't know. And I don't even know if I'm going to post this video. And maybe I won't. Maybe this will just go into the archives of the 20,000 videos I've recorded that I don't upload. Lately, I've just been feeling alone in the sense of I don't know how to describe it. Like, I know there are people who care about me. Here's the thing. I've gone through seasons of my life where I felt very alone and like depressed, and I have dealt with depression multiple times in my past. That's not what I'm feeling right now. What I'm feeling right now is just alone in the sense of I don't feel like there's someone here physically to communicate with. I don't know. I feel alone and I feel very defeated a lot of the time. I just feel very like I failed a lot of things. We're coming up into this time in our lives where I'm a junior right now in high school, and everything's gonna change pretty soon. I'm not gonna live at home anymore. I'm gonna be on my own, and this is the time where you kind of sink or swim. Everybody kind of figures out what level you're on in your life, and so I felt up until this point like I kind of just am not up to par with a lot of things. Like, I feel like with YouTube, I was doing so well over the summer. Like, everything was going well. I was getting a lot of subscribers. I was getting a lot of views. I felt really good about my channel. And then that plummeted. And like lately, I'm getting no subscribers and no views. And it's embarrassing for me to have to try and explain that to people and trying to explain that to myself. Like, I don't really know what happened. I don't know. Maybe it's my videos. Maybe I don't know what it is. And so it's embarrassing because for me, I'm not a competitive person. I'm not somebody who's like fight to the death over something. I'm competitive when I need to be, but I'm not like I'm going to fight for this and you all are gonna get out of my way. But I am competitive against people who've wronged me, and that's a different kind of competitive for me than other kinds of competitive, because competing against someone that you don't really care about, like let's say you're in an event and you're competing against somebody and you don't know them. It's different. When you're competing against somebody and it's on a personal level, it hurts. And for me, I'm always somebody who compares myself to other people, which is so unhealthy to do, but I always do that. And so for me, I compare myself on these people, and we're all at different stages in our lives, but I still compare myself, and I'm like, you know what, I'm a failure. I'm not doing anything right. My YouTube is failing. I'm getting mediocre grades in school. I don't know what I can do. And so for me, sometimes that just spirals and I just get into these bad moods, and I just continuously get in these bad moods. And I know this probably sounds so stupid and pathetic to some of you. And it is. It probably is. I live in a good, stable home, and, I'm not worried about any missing meals or anything like that, and I understand that my life could be a lot worse, but I just wanted to explain how I'm feeling to you guys. If you see any different quality in my videos, some of you guys have noticed, like, a change in my personality lately, and I just wanted to identify that and get it out of the way. I don't want this to sound like I'm complaining about my whole life and that everything is wrong, because I know that I have a good life. I'm not upset about that. I'm very thankful for my life. I'm very thankful for my family. I'm thankful that I live where I do and I've had the experience I've had, and things like that. But I do want to just identify what's going on in case some of you guys are like, what happened? But, I'm not to a point where I can just say, all right, I'm successful, I've done it, this is it. But I see these people around me. I see YouTube friends, and I see my normal friends, and I see people who don't like me, and I just feel them all getting better, and I feel them all being stronger and progressing. And for me, a lot of the things that I've gone through and the success I've had is not a physical representation I can show to people, you know? Getting over depression, that's a huge success for me, and I don't have like a physical, visible thing I can look at my trophy, you know? And not that I want a physical representation, but it's hard to compete against somebody or just feel like you're against somebody, you know? And not even necessarily that I'm competing against them, just that I feel like I am. Do you know what I'm saying? You feel like you need to prove yourself all of the time. And, you know, I was writing last night, some days when I get in a down mood or just in a good mood, I want to write things down so I can remember how I was feeling on a certain day, and just so I can vent. It's good to vent. It's good to vent to something that can't talk back, so that you can just be like, this is everything I'm feeling. So last night I wrote like 6 pages about everything, and you know, a lot of it revolved around my feelings of not being good enough. I've felt that feeling for a long time in my life. I have an older sister who's very smart and very driven, and she's very good at everything she does, and so I kind of have compared myself to her for my whole life. And then I see these people, like I said, just around me, people that don't like me, and people that do like me, and people who've criticized me for doing YouTube videos, and people who hate me for doing YouTube videos, and people who make fun of me for doing this. And it's hard to hold my head high sometimes, you know? It's hard. It's very hard. Like I said, just my YouTube isn't growing very fast anymore, and maybe it's not gonna grow, and maybe this is where I'm at right now, and maybe this is where I'm gonna stay. And if that's the way it is, then I need to be content with that, you know? I need to be okay with that in my heart. And this is a lot of self things, you know? It's not something that somebody else can give me, you know, but just there are a lot of people out there in my hometown who just make fun of me and ridicule me for doing this, and they've put me through the ringer. Yeah, put me through the ringer, but I'm still here, I'm still standing, and you know, that to me is part of my success, is that I'm still standing. And you know, just because people say something about you, or they say a rumor about you, or they do something to you, doesn't mean that you have to stop doing something, or that you should stop doing something that you love, or that you're not good at something, you know? Be proud of yourself for that. It's a lot of work, and I go through these emotions sometimes, and they're never usually a long period of time. I'm not talking about for the next 8 months I'm gonna be down this road, but you know, C.S. Lewis, I think it's his quote, or somebody else's. If it's not his quote, I'll write whose quote it is right here, but where he says, you know, the quickest way to a path is turning around and getting on the right one. So when you're going down the wrong path, the quickest way to get to the right one is turning back around and going the right way. And you know, sometimes we all just hit these plateaus where we're just like, I am not feeling good. And I think we all go through those seasons of life, and I think it's important that I tell you guys that I'm going through it too. That people a lot of times like to assume that, you know, your life is so flashy if you do YouTube, and everything about your life is so happy and good all the time. And I think Connor Franta put up a video one time, and he was just like, people don't really understand that, you know, you see like 5 minutes of my life. You don't see the feelings that I go through, and you don't see the emotions and just the pits. You know, I have very high highs and very low lows, and very high highs and low lows, so you gotta kind of go with the wave here. Anything like that. And, you know, I made a video a couple months back where I was thinking about quitting YouTube, and it was a really dark couple days, couple weeks, because I'd found out a couple different things that made me very, very angry and just upset. And I hope people who ridicule me for YouTube get to watch this, and I hope you know who I'm talking about. There are days when I go through YouTube and I don't want to make videos, because it's like I put this effort into these videos. I do this stuff. I work hard. I spend money, and I still don't get the views or the response that I'd like. I don't get comments. I don't get this and that. And you know, it's embarrassing for me to, I almost felt embarrassed to make this video, because it was like, what if one of these people sees this video, or somebody sees this video and they think, wow, she, you know, she's not as strong as she says she is, and she's not actually blah 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 blah. And to be honest with you, I don't really care. I don't really care. I don't really care if new people, I don't care if new people see this. I don't care if old people see this. I don't care if who sees this. I want people to know that you're not alone in feeling like a failure sometimes, and you are not a failure because somebody else tells you you are. Competing makes you feel empty. Comparison is the thief of joy. That's not a C.S. Lewis quote, but I don't know who says it. I'm not sure who it is, but it's It's a quote, and it's a good one. So don't compare yourself. You're on your own journey. We can do this together. If you guys liked this rambly video, you can let me know, because I don't know if I liked this video, but it's probably going up. Maybe I'll just throw it up on a random day because it's not a normal upload. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you back here later.